Welcome back to the Acoustic Shoppe channel. I am John. Hey guys, it is New Guitar Thursday. Cannonball!
And we're live.
Hello, welcome to the Acoustic Shoppe Takeover Tuesday. I am Jeremy, your host of every Tuesday's Takeover, unless I'm not here or if John's here and he takes over my Takeover Tuesday. But I am here today, and guys, I know we've already talked about it yesterday quite a lot, but thank you so much for the Small Business Saturday, our biggest one yet. We set a goal for the year, and it was a good push from last year, and we nearly doubled our goal. It was really just overwhelming, all the support, and now it's overwhelming just trying to make sure that we don't mess anything up, because we have 306 orders to fulfill, and that means going through, inspecting all the instruments, making sure they got nice strings on them, trying to reach out to all of you guys to make sure we got all the orders right, and also going through, there were some code issues where some of our discounts weren't being applied, so we were going through every single order to make sure that they had the right discount applied to those, and we will be refunding the difference for ones where the code wasn't working out or the discount wasn't applied correctly. But what a huge, just overwhelming response from you guys that really made us feel warm and welcome. It was an exhausting day, but at the end of it, we were all just feeling very elated to have that much support. We did some reports, and not only were the sales just outstanding, but the live stream, the interaction, guys, over like 1,000 comments and support the entire way. We had people that watched it from the beginning of the 7-hour live stream all the way to the very end, and it's just an incredible outpouring. So thank you again for that. We're going to take a break and not do that again until next Small Business Saturday, which will be November of next year. So we got a whole year to recover and figure out ways to hopefully figure out how we're going to answer that many phone calls and not let any phone calls drop on that. But mainly this rack right here, this was full on Saturday, and these were just the ones that were for in-store only. So what we did is we took and we ordered a lot. You guys saw the 4 pallets of instruments we had. We split it evenly. We said, all right, half of these are for online sales, half of them for in-store. So these were just the ones that were sold in-store. The online ones are gone. Every one that we had listed online is gone. Same thing for the, excuse me, same thing for the E1Ds. We did the E1Ds, the E1OMs. All those that were listed for online sales were gone. I think we only had 4 left of any of the guitars in-store as well. So just the other cool thing about that is maybe a lot of people that we're just kind of leaning on the fence and wanting to get a quality instrument for their first instrument, or for a friend, or for a gift, for a family or loved one. It was a great way to get some instruments into the hands of people. These MD305s, I've talked about them numerous times. I don't think we've repriced these yet. So what we did is we received them as a special item for Small Business Saturday. They would have that new pricing. And now we've got to go back through, have Trent photograph all these, get them listed online. He's been busy trying to call customers and confirm all the orders, so hasn't got to that yet. But these will be listed online soon. We still have a few, I think, left that are already online. So it looks like we've got 1 more MD315 online and 2 MD305s. So those should be online. The rest of these will be going up there very soon. But if you missed out on that big sale, we only do it once a year, guys. We get a little bit of grief for doing it, but we'll do it again next year or some sort of special like that. So if you didn't get a chance to take advantage of that sale this year, make sure you're tuning in next year.
We do have someone saying they missed out on the Humidipack refills, and it seems like they sold out while they were waiting for a code. They
sold out quickly. Send us an email on that. I think we might have got a message from you already. Send us an email. We'll try to make good on that. But they did sell out really quickly, and they were supposed to, there wasn't really a coupon code for those. They were supposed to be, the price was going to be adjusted at a certain time of the day, and it did not happen. So we have to order some more of those in, so there'll be a little delay on those, but we'll try to get that taken care of. We don't want anybody to feel like they missed out because there was a bug in the system, but that is part of being a small business. We just don't have the IT team to fix those things on the fly. I am your IT team, guys, and I take all responsibility for all the mix-ups. As always, guys, please let us know where you're watching from. If you tuned into the live stream on Saturday, let us know all about it. If you guys were able to get one of those really good deals on the day, put that in the comments as well. We love hearing where you're watching from, so please tell us where you're at and what the current temperature is. We finally got a little sunlight today.
It looks like we have a few people from New York and Syracuse, New York, where it's snowy right now. So.
It doesn't surprise me. Get some of that lake. What do they call that?
Yeah, I'm not jealous of them for that one.
No, lake effect snow. Dad used to live up in Buffalo, New York, and they used to get that lake snow or lake effect snow, 4 or 5 feet of snow just drop overnight. And these are good mandolins. I actually got 2 of these, one for each of my sons. They wanted to pick up the mandolin. Such a really good price on a hand-carved instrument, and the setup on them is so excellent for anyone just starting out. So yeah, this is all we got left, but these are going to be, right now they're available in-store. We just got to get them repriced. But online, they will be listed very soon for you guys if you're looking for something like that. We got some banjos just laying on the floor over here. These are some of the ones that sold on Saturday. Believe me, next door is just packed right now. We showed some pictures of that I think earlier, but we got a new shipping space for Emily. Just we cleared it out just before this big sale, and it is just full of instruments, full of packages, getting ready to go out. Our postman is going to be very. We're gonna have to send him. We're gonna give him a big holiday gift card to thank him for taking all these packages because it's a big load. Thank you guys for your patience and understanding. It will take us a little time to get through these, but we are determined to not really delay this much more than we absolutely have to. Some of the items we're still waiting to get replenished. The problem is we had some of the stock that was in store. More people were taking that than we were able to. Every time an order would come in, we'd come out here and grab them, but people were buying them before we could even reach out here and grab them. So some things did double sell. We've got new ones on the way. We will get those out, oh, excuse me, as soon as possible. This is why it was good that I wasn't talking on Saturday. I have a cough that won't go away, but that's all right. Bear with me, guys. Do we have any questions?
Someone from the Netherlands watching.
Sounds like
Pretty similar temperature. It's about 43 out right now, right?
But are they talking Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Well, they said 8 Celsius, 43 Fahrenheit. If it was 48 Fahrenheit,
that'd be very hot. Yes. Anyway, yes, welcome from the Netherlands. We love it over there. We've been over, me, John, and Jason, the Chapmans. We've played over there a few times. Actually got to spend some time with a fellow by the name of Cor Ross. Stayed in his house for about 3 weeks when we were on tour over there. So beautiful area. Any questions so far? Are we going to feature any instruments?
I think we're going to talk about the Dreadnought program.
Oh yeah. I'm going to mute this real quick so I can cough. There we go. Yes, the Dreadnought program. Am I back on? Can you see me? Testing 1, 2. Hello, hello.
Yeah, you look good.
All right. The Dreadnought program, we talked about it a little bit on Saturday. It's something we've been planning on doing actually for a couple years now, but we just wanted to try to get as many pieces in place before we launched it. And then we said, all right, we got to set a deadline, and we made Small Business Saturday our deadline to make this thing happen. So right now we're in a beta group, test group of the Dreadnought program. I'll give you the basics of it. The idea behind it is just kind of to really accentuate the customer experience, both in-store and especially with the online orders, with a few different things. One is we are now including some of the Humidipacks, the Boveda, just kind of a starter kit, the saddle that goes inside the guitar, or for mandolin and banjo, just the single packs, just to make sure that your instrument is protected for a good 2 to 3 months. And that'll, especially when we're shipping it, that'll make sure that there's not a big fluctuation in the climate conditions.
Does our shipping go through UPS, FedEx, or USPS?
Almost all the instruments go through UPS. Some of the smaller items will go through USPS, and sometimes if it's an area that UPS doesn't deliver readily to, we'll go through FedEx, but the majority of the packages will be UPS on the free shipping. Unless, like I said, unless it's just accessories, and that's normally the USPS post office. The second thing with the Dreadnought program, so we're including the Humidipacks. That's kind of keeping your instrument in that 45 to 50% humidity range. We also got these really cool hygrometer and hygrometer and thermometer Bluetooth devices, just a little square, and we're now including those. We're putting them inside the case pocket of every single instrument, and that way, when the instrument arrives at your home, we have on the box, don't open this for 24 hours, because we want to give you time to acclimate to your temperature, because especially during the winter, these are going through some pretty cold climates, sometimes getting left on the truck overnight, and they can get to pretty cold. It's a gradual thing, so normally that's okay to the instrument. What is really bad is the dramatic change. If you all of a sudden open that case and it's a 30-degree change in temperature, a lot of times that finish can just check, wood can crack. So it's safest to let it kind of slowly acclimate back to your current room temperature. The cool thing with this device is we have a barcode that will be, actually a QR code that will be on the box of your instrument. And this is for everyone that bought an instrument over $1,000, and you're now part of our Dreadnought beta test program. There'll be a QR code on there. Hold your phone up to it. It'll take you to the website, and that has some links to get this new app. You'll download the app, And through Bluetooth, you're going to connect to your instrument, and it's going to tell you the current condition inside there. It's going to tell you the temperature. It's going to tell you the humidity level. It'll let you know if it's safe, if it's within 5 to 10 degrees of your room. It's safe to open that, safe to pull your instrument out and play it. Really cool. And it's not just for the initial thing. That's going to stay inside your case, and you can set it up and you can name it. You can take a picture of your guitar and put that on the app so it tells you which one you're actually using. Let me see if I can bring one up. I think all my devices are next door, but I don't know if this will show up well on the camera or not, but we'll test it out. But you can name them. You can set some thresholds where it will send you a push notification that, hey, there's something wrong. Like right now it's just got a violin. I don't know if you can see this, Trent. It's got a picture of a violin, but you can actually set your sensor, take some photos of it. The device name, you can change the device name. Right now it does have a little buggy thing on my phone where it's not quite, some of the stuff is written on top of each other, but you can choose whether you want to be, what your maximum temperature is going to be, and it'll send you a warning on that. It'll set humidity, maximum humidity, we'll set that at 55%. And minimum humidity at 45%. Actually, we'll set it at 39, so that it'll send me a notification if it goes below that. You can calibrate it later on to make sure it's very accurate. You can also set whether you're doing Fahrenheit or Celsius. But right now, this is telling me, that it's currently at 45% humidity inside there, and a really cool way to just test it without having to open the box. You're going to have that in your case forever. Those last, and then you can replace the battery if you need to. But just a little extra to help you make sure you're maintaining and keeping your instrument safe. Some other things, I know there might be some questions. I'm just going to try to give you the Cliff Notes version. We normally give a 14-day return policy, a 14-day trial period where you can try out your instrument. If within those 14 days you're like, this is just not the right one for us, we're fine with that. We want to make sure you find the instrument that you're in love with. So contact us. We'll give you a return label. There's no restocking fees. The only cost to you will be the shipping fees, and we just can't absorb all the shipping fees for instruments going back and forth if they don't remain with the customer. But you will have the instrument returned to us. Now we're extending that to 30 days. So you get a 30-day trial period where you get to test out your instrument for a full 30 days. Corey, are you sneaking up on me? A full 30 days, try that out. Make sure it's the right instrument for you. If it's not, same policy, just return to us. You'll have the shipping costs deducted. The rest of it is fully refunded. Then on top of that, we're giving you a 1-year absolute satisfaction guarantee. Basically, if you play that instrument for a while and you're like, I really like this, but man, that new Atkin just came up on the thing, and I wish I could get that one, but now I'm already invested in this one. You can contact us. If it's still in like new condition, you'll get 90% of your purchase price credited in the store credit that you can apply to that other instrument. Or if you're just like, I'm not sure on this one, why don't you give me a store credit? We'll keep that on the books, but I'm going to return this guitar to you guys. You got a full 1 year. If it's you have some wear and tear on it and you're at 70% of its original quality or like a condition, then you'll get 70%. And on our website, we really kind of break that down on, all right, if it's got 3 scratches and 2 nicks in it, then you're going to get 70%. If it's got, we really have that broken and bracketed down. So a really cool way that you can make sure that you're always making sure that the instruments in your collection are the ones you absolutely want to have. Yes, Janelle?
There's some people wondering if it's kind of like Taylor Sense.
The Humidity Tracker thing, I'm guessing? Is that what they're talking about, Taylor Sense?
I think the Dreadnought program, yeah, the little.
I'm thinking it's the little device. It's kind of like Taylor Sense. I'm not real familiar with Taylor Sense. We're not a Taylor dealer. But I'm assuming that that's what it is. They're talking about is that maybe the device. I know D'Addario makes one called the Humidity Tracker. Same idea, it's just a Bluetooth device. If you're talking about an actual return policy, I'm not familiar with that one. I know for us, the idea is we want to make sure that every instrument that you purchase from us is the one that you absolutely want to have. If it's not, normally we only give you 40% of what our resale value would be. So say you bought a $1,000 guitar, we think used it's going to sell for $800. We can really only give you about 40% of that back so that we still can make a profit margin. Historically, that's kind of where we've been, and sometimes we'll push that up to 50%. Now we're going to give you up to 90% of your purchase price, not the resale price, but if you paid $1,000, we're going to give you $900 back on that, and that could be all the way a year later, and you'll still get that amount of money. So it's a cool idea. We've been bouncing around for a while. I'm very excited to see what the response is to it. Some of you guys may just love your instrument and never want to trade in. We have some guys that are like, man, I'm ready for an upgrade. Let's apply that full 90% back to this next guitar, and that might be a way that you can kind of keep climbing that ladder and getting a step-up instrument. And it also helps us keep some very high-quality used inventory in the shop. which is kind of a win-win situation. So that's one of the biggest features of the new Dreadnought program. We are in this beta system, program right now where it has to be an instrument over $1,000. And it's just between Small Business Saturday, which was last Saturday, and December 31st. That's kind of our window. And then we're going to close that for a while just to make sure all the devices are working well, all the shipping and stuff is working the way we expected it to. So if you want to be part of that Dreadnought program, join us now. Yes?
We have Kathy who says, I have a friend asking if you sold the Eastman Comfort Contour mandolin. He said he thought he saw it on the wall, but not on the website.
Okay, I know that we did sell at least one that day. I do see one on the wall. So this should be on the website, but yeah, we do have one of the Comfort Contours in. This one was one I think I played on the live stream the other day. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is the one that I played when me, John, and Jason played on Small Business Saturday. It is, you can look on the website for, if you just do in the search bar up there, type in 03212, and that should bring up this instrument. If it's not on there, let us know. You can give us a call. This is the last Comfort Contour we have in right now. We did have, I think, 3 of them. It's very poppy. Yeah, that's a really nice mandolin. Let us know if you can call us at 417-720-1223 if you're having any problems with that. Or it should be available on the website.
Hinkley is watching right now and says it looks like it's not online, but we'll work on that.
So Hinkley is going to fix that. So it is not online right now. For some reason, we'll get that list on there. Make sure that's not in layaway or something. Somehow, do we know if anybody might lay this away? Hinkley, make sure that's not on layaway. Yeah.
Similar idea. Taylor built it into their battery box.
Okay, but it is the humidity tracking device.
It's almost identical to the Humidity Tracker from D'Addario, except it just they
So
put it in
John,
the
oh, I
battery
guess
box
you might be able
jack.
to talk through Janelle.
You can probably hear me.
So yeah, so it is not part of the Dreadnought program, but it's just the actual Bluetooth hygrometer device. I wish I had one of those over here with me, but it's just a really cool little cube. It's a little square, and it comes with a few ways you can attach it to your case. We're going to make sure we put it inside the pocket of the case because your guitar case is, you know, the humidity is going to kind of even out throughout the entire instrument in the case environment, and the temperature the same way. If it gets warm enough inside that pocket, you know your instrument is safe to pull out.
Somebody wanted one of these.
Somebody wanted one of those. We made those the first year that we got our laser. I think we could probably do a better job now than we did then because we've learned how to use it. So we will try to get some, that'd be cool to have before Christmas. We'll see if we can get a bunch of those on the website. If you guys are interested in any Acoustic Shoppe tree ornaments, let us know. And maybe if we get enough people interested, we'll make, I don't know, 20 or 30 of those.
What is your preference between the 515cz and the stab? I think this is supposed to be say standard, but standard 515.
So we did a cool video that showed like all the different models of the MD515 because they do have the Comfort Contour. At that time in that video, I think they had like a classic color finish on this. This now has a little bit more of that reddish color. Then the standard 515, which will have the binding on the top and just a white binding. A sunburst version of that and a natural. I really do like the feel of this beveled edge. The first time I saw it was on Weber's Gallatin mandolin, and it's really cool. They don't put a binding on it. They just use the wood. They place the wood on top of the side, on the top and back of it, and then they just kind of bevel that over and almost go down a little bit before curving back up, almost a little bit more violin style, but without the kerfing. Just a really comfortable feel to it. Doesn't have that like sharp edge that you get with the binding. Tone-wise, they're very similar, and you can watch that video if you search the Acoustic Shoppe, if you go to our YouTube channel, the Acoustic Shoppe channel, and just search MD515 on there. We have a video comparing all the different models, and we found tone-wise very similar. I think this varnish finish on it, or they call this like their true what do they call that? It's like a, they keep changing the name on it. It used to be
True Tone Vintage or something?
Yeah, True Tone Vintage or something like that, vintage varnish. It's a style of varnish spray that they do on it, but it's a much thinner process than the standard lacquer or the True Tone finish, and I think it gives it just a little bit more resonance.
Do you have enough information about the BUAS to say how it ranks among other mandolins?
I'm getting there. I'm learning a lot more about the BUAS. We do have another BUAS in that had a little crack that happened, and I think it might have happened between our, picking it up at IBMA and getting it inspected at the shop. Just one of the F-hole, I think it's actually down here, cracked right along the F-hole. We're having that repaired right now, and then that one will be at a discount. But overall, these mandolins are great. I really put them in kind of this almost in that Weber Gallatin level. This feels like it's got maybe some light strings on it when you got to get a little heavier on that. Playability, build quality, I think these are right up there with the Weber mandolins. Until you get some in the higher end Webers, I think this hasn't reached quite those, but it's meant to be in that more affordable price range. Like this one's coming in at $43.50, which again, affordable, but in that boutique build level.
We have some people wondering if the humidity trackers are available without an instrument.
Good question. Are the humidity trackers available without an instrument? They will be. So right now, I actually had to source these directly from the manufacturer to get enough of them at a cheap enough price that we could include them free of charge in all these shipments. And again, this I don't think I mentioned that. This is all, we're adding all this stuff without increasing the price on any of this. We want to make sure that we're just adding some value to you guys shopping at the Acoustic Shop and making sure that you feel that we are giving as much as we possibly can with every single purchase. So adding that Bluetooth Humidity Tracker is no extra cost. The extra Bovida packs, there will be some extra goodies eventually added on with that, as well as that 1-year return. We're trying to make this make it a community where people feel they can be here for their lifetime. But with that, we were looking into these trackers, and they said, hey, if you guys want some of these branded for your shop, we can do packaging specific to you guys. So once we get through this beta test to really make sure they hold up and they're doing the job they're expected to do, we will have those available, because we suspect that a lot of people that get that with that one guitar and they have 2 or 3 other guitars in their house, they're gonna say, man, I'd like another one for each one of those, because the app, like I said, you can designate, all right, this is my Martin D28, and take a photo of it and put the serial number, and it really kind of tie it to that instrument. And every time you walk into the room, you can just see a true, I guess, live feed of how your instruments are functioning, and get that alert every time you walk through. If something comes and you're within the Bluetooth range, if something comes up and it's in danger, it's going to send you that alert saying, hey, you need to check the humidity on this, or this is getting too warm or too cold. So yeah, we suspect people are going to want more of those. We're going to be working on that as soon as we go through this beta test to make sure everything's working the way it should be, and then we will look into getting those packaged for the shop, and again, make those at an affordable price that everybody can add that to their guitar room collection.
We have Tyler wanting to know what strings you use, who is still undecided on what they prefer.
Okay, which strings I use? I've been using the LSB 250s from GHS. It's a silken bronze string, so they take the core wire, they wrap it with a very, very thin silk wire or silk thread, and then they do the bronze over top of that. And that just takes a little bit of the brightness of the bronze kind of smacking against the core wire. It kind of just makes them a little bit duller sounding, but it comes out across on a mandolin as woody. It just gives it that really deep, full, throaty tone. I think we sold out of those on the Small Business Saturday sale. We got to get more of those in, because we were doing buy one, get one frees on those. So that's been my favorite mandolin string. Doyle Lawson gave me my first set of those. They used to be the Doyle Lawson signature set, and he gave me a set of those probably 20 years ago, and that's mainly what I've been using the entire time. I also really recently enjoyed the XS strings from D'Addario, the medium gauge XS strings. They're a standard phosphor bronze, but it's their coated string. And as far as a coated string, it's the best one I've ever tried, because it doesn't kill the tone as much as some of the other ones have in the past. And they last forever, and that's why I've been using them for like my lesson mandolin, because I just, day in and day out, I'm playing that mandolin, doing lessons. I'm not really performing with it or practicing with it, so I'm not really changing the strings as often as I would on my main instrument. And tone-wise, they just sound really good, clear, and I don't have to worry about constantly changing the strings to keep them that way. So if you're not someone that changes strings very often, I really recommend checking out those XS strings from D'Addario. If you really just want a woody tone, especially if you got a thin sounding mandolin, you want more of that Adam Steffy type just full chop to it, then definitely try out the LSB 250s when we get those back in stock. We are placing an order probably today to make sure we get some of those, because some of the orders on Saturday we can't fulfill until we get a replacement shipment of those.
I control the humidity of my house from 40 to 60%, and I leave a lot of guitars out on the stand. Should I be casing them?
No, if you've got one of those whole house humidifiers, that's great. If you got one in a room, you play the instruments probably more when they're out in front of you, readily available. You just walk by and say, oh, I haven't played this one in a while, pick it up and strum it. I really love that. if you this whole building for the acoustic shop is plumbed with a whole house humidifier that goes through the ductwork, keeps the whole place very well humidified and maintains that, because we've got obviously all these instruments exposed to the elements. So if you're doing that and you're maintaining it, absolutely you can keep them out. If it's very difficult for you to maintain, it keeps fluctuating, put some of them away in the cases and use some of those case humidifiers. It's so much easier to maintain that small space. Right now, next door in that new shipping room, we've got Emily in. We had to get one of those big humidifiers that we just keep putting these 5-gallon tanks inside of. And we have to fill it twice a day to keep up with it, because it's just, that room's not keeping the humidity in there like it should be. So that one's a difficult room. We may end up plumbing that area as well, as we get more and more instruments shipping out of there, just to make sure we're keeping them humidified. But if you're able to maintain one room or entire house, then yeah, keep them out on the stands. But just keep tracking it. Another thing cool with those trackers is you can just put it in the room. Like, you know, I think we had one in here somewhere where you just set it on one of the walls and it will track. Yeah, Trent's got one right there. So that's the Humidity Tracker from Dreadnought. Basically, it's a very similar device, giving us temperature and humidity readings through Bluetooth, and just make sure we're maintaining that and also sending us an alert if things ever drop.
Would the 1-year return policy be retroactive for an instrument purchased within the last 12 months?
So unfortunately, no. We have to have kind of a starting date for this, and I know that seems a little unfair, but it's like when you come up with a new program, it's hard to really include a lot of people that have previously bought that in there, and we hate to have to draw that line somewhere. But what we're doing is from Small Business Saturday going forward through the end of December, that's kind of our beta window for testing out this program, because we don't want to launch something like this and then have all these failure points that people are like confused on what the return policy is, or they have questions on what's allowed to be returned, what's not. We're trying to make that as clear as possible, get feedback from everybody involved on how we can improve it, and then the plan is to just completely launch it. I know, you know, Amazon Prime, when they did the same thing, when they launched Prime, they did the same thing, a beta window, and it really wasn't really retroactive, but unfortunately we had to kind of have that starting date.
What kind of strings would make a Weber mandolin sound loud?
The reason there are so many different manufacturers and so many different models of strings out there is they're bringing a little something different tone-wise to an option for you depending on which instrument you have. So when you say more loud, that may mean more bright, because the brighter sounding an instrument, it seems to tickle our ears a little bit more than the woody, dull sound. So maybe a bright bronze string would really accentuate it a little bit. Maybe a nickel bronze from Dreadnought just has this mid-range. They even show like a graph of a EQ. When you strum through it, it takes what used to be kind of a dip in the mid-range and brings that up so it's very even. And again, that gives the impression of volume, because it's just a tonal range that really cuts across a lot better to human ears. So that might be something to try out. Another thing, we sold a lot of these Dr. Herringbones over the weekend. Something like that we put on there that just vibrates the instrument, because a lot of times the volume is just trying to wake the instrument up, loosen the top, get that vibrating as much as possible. So maybe a combination, without actually trying the instrument, I can't give you a lot of advice. Something that does make a big difference, but yet the trade-off to it is playability. Raising that bridge just 1/8 of an inch puts more downward pressure on that top because of the break angle changes. That downward pressure comes out as more volume. So anytime you can raise the action a bit, you're going to have a little bit more difficulty with the playability on your left hand, but you'll notice a significant difference in volume.
We have someone wondering if there's going to be E10 SSTC, because I guess the E6 SSTC replaced the E10.
That's a John question.
E10 SSTC, I've got it on special order. There's going to be 4 of them here in 2 weeks.
E10 SSTC, John said they are going to be a new thing. He's got 4 of them on order. Should be within a couple of weeks here at the shop. So if you are interested in that, they probably will sell fast, because we just had the 4 of them coming right now. But yes, give us a call.
3 of them are already pre-sold from the sale.
3 of them are pre-sold from the sale. So we have 1 available, guys. So if you're really interested in that, give us a call. We will get that to you. Or you'll be, if you want to put a deposit down on it, you'll be the first on the list to get that, snag that one up. So good question. Yes, they are available very soon.
What about strings for an L-ray?
Strings for an L-ray, it is a magnetic pickup on that. So a nickel string is probably preferred. Did we sell it? No, we got it right here. Yes, this has a nickel strings on it. Bronze strings do react some to a magnetic pickup, but not near as well as nickel wound. So I would say just a full nickel string. GHS makes their nickel. Nickel bronze should be very similar, but there is a nickel string also from D'Addario. Really, I would go with anything nickel wound for the G and D string, and then obviously you got the steel strings for the A and E, and that just gives you a much better response for the pickup. So anything nickel wound would be preferable. I haven't tried the nickel bronze, but I imagine with the amount of nickel they have in those, it's kind of a alloy that's a combination of bronze and nickel. I would imagine it's still pretty responsive for those pickups.
How much are those strings?
I would go look real quick. I think they're about the standard $12, $8.99. So, a nickel-plated steel string from D'Addario. This is just their standard nickel string, $8.99, and that would be like your EJ74s. Actually, these are little, 74s, so that'd be a $39 on your G string, $25 on the D, $11 on the E. The nickel bronze are, everybody, the 1140s. And these would be $12.99, and that's going to be that alloy that's kind of a combination of bronze and nickel. And I said that try this out maybe on that Weber mandolin because it'll give it a little bit more mid-range volume, and that'll help maybe increase your volume a bit on that. We got another nickel-plated steel right here. Is that the same EJ67? Yeah, we just got them in 2 different locations. And then GHS will also have Phosphor bronze. I know they're here somewhere. We might have sold out of those, but they have another set of these. It'll be a nickel string. Right here is where it was. No, it's D'Addario. So there will be another nickel string from GHS. I think they're still in that $8.99 price range as well. So you can get them. It's really not a big difference. It shouldn't be any difference really from the price of a standard bronze string.
We had someone saying they didn't see the Tony Rice on our website. Do we know when that one's gonna?
It is not on the website yet because that's still the prototype. We had a couple tweaks to it. They're putting the logo a little bit higher on the back of the headstock. Just a couple minor things, but they are going into full production now. So they said they have started production on those. They are limited to 30 instruments. There's going to be 30 of them ever made. And last I talked to John, that is the end of their Madagascar rosewood as well. So that this model, as it's built, will only be an Acoustic Shoppe exclusive. The large sound hole, Madagascar rosewood, the Acoustic Shoppe flat pick logo on the back of the headstock, and a special label for us. Numbered 1 through 30. We're going to do a lot of really cool case candy for those, but we don't have a price yet because we don't have the full production specs on it yet. They're in production right now. They haven't given us the spec list, so we know what the cost and sale price is going to be on those. But we are taking a waiting list for those. No money down on that because we don't have a way to take a deposit because we don't have an item for it. But if you want to be on that list, call the shop 417-720-1223. You will be on that list. I think we've already got 10 people on the list out of that 30, so these are going to go quick. If you want to be on that list, make sure you give us a call. I had a guy call yesterday, said, I have wanted a Tony Rice guitar forever, and this is why John wanted to design this guitar. He said, I've wanted a Tony Rice style guitar forever, could never afford one. This sounds like the perfect guitar for me. It's going to be in a very affordable price range for a large sound hole, Wyatt Rice, or yeah, Wyatt, I'm trying to blank right now. What's the name?
Clarence White.
Clarence White. Yeah, Clarence White, Tony Rice model guitar. And it blew me away. I got to play it for the first time on Saturday. It was a big guitar.
Have you tried the String Joy mandolin strings?
I haven't yet. We got them in right when we were really kind of going through all of our Small Business Saturday planning. I'm like, I've got to try those out because they didn't have them available when we first signed on with String Joy. They only had guitar strings. And then they now do have the coated and uncoated phosphor bronze string from String Joy. We are going to do a full review on those for guitar, and I imagine for mandolin as well, where we get to try those out. But very excited about the concept behind them. I talked about this before. They actually wind the string under. They take that core wire, and most string manufacturers will put it in this machine. It was really cool. We got to go to GHS and watch them do this. But they took that core wire, put the ball end in one side, and the other end gets pinched in the top, and then this thing just starts spinning like super fast. And then they have another threader that starts with that bronze wire, and it just runs down there, and it's that core wire spinning that wraps itself, basically. What these guys came up with is they take that core wire, they put it in there, and then the machines pull them apart to the full tension that your string would normally be under when it's on your guitar or mandolin. So it puts that core wire at the standard tension for a G string, and then starts the winding at that tension. And then when it releases that, that core wire is stuck because that wrap is around it really tight. So that core wire is already at tension. So when you go to string it up, a lot less tuning instability. It's supposed to give you a lot more tonal response because it's already up to full tension. Very cool concept. I haven't got to try it in reality, so I'm looking forward to trying those out. So short answer, no.
Okay.
All right.
Got
John, you got
another
something?
question if you
I
want.
need help.
What do you need help with?
PayPal. Refund on PayPal.
Okay. After we're off air, we
No,
can...
that's what I'm waiting for.
All right, we'll do it as soon as we get done. We don't give refunds here. Sorry, guys. No, that's not true. Sorry. Any other questions?
Ask you if you've tried an antler bridge on a mandolin.
I have not. I know Jerry Rosa kind of popularized that in our area, using antler for making the saddles on the top of adjustable mandolin bridges. And then he recently sold the company to a couple of young guys that are taking over. When we were up there doing our tour, picking up our Larrivee mandolin, we got talking to Jerry, and he said he's looking to sell that part of it because he said for a while he tried stopping it, but people just kept calling him saying, I want more of those, please get them. He said the hardest thing is getting the antler, and then he got popular enough on YouTube that people would just start mailing him, antler pieces that they would find or from hunting. And so they started doing he started looking for somebody else to take over the company, and he recently found a couple young guys that are doing that. So I got to try it out on a couple of his mandolins. I'm still kind of more traditional. I like the tone and feel of a ebony bridge. So I haven't really made that. I think it would make it a little bit bright for my ear and taste. But I see a lot of people on the mandolin forums that love them. So.
Okay. Did you need to go help John?
I will need to go help John. Yeah,
Okay.
if we're about winding down, he says he needs my help, which isn't surprising. But guys, thank you again for making Small Business Saturday so big. Really, it's one of those moments like, it was one of those Oprah moments where people get discovered on Oprah and then all of a sudden sales go through the roof and they go, oh no, we can't honor this many orders. We're not quite there, but we're like, oh, we better not mess this up because a lot of people are counting on us to get gifts by the holidays and they want to make sure that they're getting their instruments. We've got a few people that have called already and said, I don't know if my order went through, I didn't get a confirmation email. If that did happen, just give us a call. We are working on every single one of those orders. We're going down the list. These guys made probably 50 calls today to customers that bought something on Small Business Saturday. Liz has got this pile of instruments right now that have been inspected, getting ready to go next door to go out. That's the other thing. We're not going to just take the ones off the shelf, put them in a case, put them in a box, ship them to you. We're still going to go through that full inspection process, get some fresh strings on them for you, make sure the necks are adjusted where they should be. We don't want to take any shortcuts on these, even if you got them at an excellent price. So thank you guys so much for your patience. We're going to get those out as soon as possible. There shouldn't be more than a week delay because Emily is just cranking through these things, possibly 2 weeks with 304 orders, plus more orders keep coming in every single day. So sales haven't slowed down in store, and now she's got a little backlog to catch up with. So we owe her a pie. Everybody send Emily a thanks and an attaboy, attagirl. Everybody on this team, everybody's been working so hard to keep things caught up ever since Saturday. We're like, yeah, we did it. We made it through Saturday. And they're like, oh no, we got to make it through the next 2 weeks. But thank you guys so much. It's a good problem to have. All right, I guess I'm going to sign off if there's no more specific questions. Thank you guys so much for being here. Tomorrow we do have Shop Talk. We'll be live at noon where John, Jason, and I will answer questions. I almost guarantee you that John will be playing that new guitar. I might even steal from him a couple of songs and play a few tunes. So tune in for that tomorrow at noon. And thank you guys so much for everything you do to support the shop. We will see you later.